We have it up at the airport. So it's under lock and key. But hopefully we'll see it before long. The other thing for transportation, obviously, is steamboats. I just put this picture up today. This is the grand excursion that we had here in 2004. That is actually the sister to the Julie Bell Swing. That's the Spirit of Peoria. And it is not a steamboat. Actually, what's running that is two electromotives. Railroad electromotives. So one on each one of the right.
Those drive paddles, right?
Drives a paddle. And that thing, both the Julie Bell and that surprised me. When they wanted to move fast, they could go fast. I saw that thing moving, and that's the shot that they got as it on during the race. It just was unbelievable. I never saw a steamboat run that fast. So, but what we plan to do here, and hopefully by the beginning of June we'll have it done, is to have a lot of information on the steamboats that were built in LaCrosse. That I don't think I'm talking about the dismantled ones, but the two huge companies we had here, both of them with their own building capabilities, Davidson and McDonald. Davidson ran for about, the White Car Line ran for around 10 years, but they were heavily involved with 3 other lines. And they were actually running on the Ohio River, Missouri River, and on the upper Mississippi. And the other line that they're involved in was a combination. But they were actually, and they still also upper Mississippi. But they were different partners in other companies as well. Davidson was well known, well liked by a lot of people, but not by other companies. He did a lot for the city of LaCrosse. A lot of the problems came when we ended up with railroads coming in. They were taking over the steamboat business, but until they had bridges in, they had to work with the steamboats. And the steamboats that were working this river were either based in Galena or Keokuk. And they would meet trains in those areas. They would not meet the trains here. They effectively either slipped by during if it was about time for the train to be in, or else they would be very early or very late. They did not want to work with the LaCrosse because the businesses that were in the places where they started from didn't want to have our competition. So those cities did everything they could to not have them come here. So we set up our own line. Davidson's set their own units in between LaCrosse and St. Paul. That was one of their businesses right there, and it was not under the Davidson line at that time. It was another name. But that created huge wars. They would have, and it was fantastic the way LaCrosse people would work with them. They had people coming in on the train. They were LaCrosse people, and the depot was right there on the river, and that was, you know, where the War Eagle is down now, that's where the depot was. If you're familiar with where the War Eagle is. They had people down there whenever the train came in. They had boats out waiting. And a lot of times, once we got our boats in here, the other boats would try and be here to take business away from our boats. But they were running them down to as much as 50 cents a head to go from across to St. Paul. In some cases, around 2. So what happened is the people in the cross would meet the people coming off the station, off the train, grab their bags, and we'll take you down the boat. And they would see people take down the cross. However, when the race got so low, they would take them to the other boats on purpose, because it actually would break the boats. They cost them more to run the boat and for the money they received. So that helped break it back to the other companies. So very, very different. We had, but same thing with trolleys. We had actually 3 different trolley companies. Two running against each other here, and then we had the third one in Alaska that started up theirs, and it took a while before that got taken over. They were trying to compete with us in some ways too. But it ended up they mainly had to beat ours. But there was still a price for it for us. On steamboats, one of the things I talk about a lot is this little boat, and the 2 others that lie with it underneath Riverside Park. Johnny Schmoker was built here in LaCrosse. I'm not sure original builder, but then ended up in Rumsey, and he took it from a single level up to what you see here. 2 books are written about this boat. They were children's books. It was Christmas on the, Winter on the Johnny Smoker, and the other was Treasure on Johnny Smoker. And they were what we would consider middle school kids today, compared to other age. That's what I'm talking about. It's and I've got those books, and actually it's something that we've been working with here. I picked up extra books, and we are working with some of the grade schools on read 2nd and 3rd graders, the teachers who can read the book to the kids, and then the kids come down and do a tour at our river museum, and they hear about Johnny Schmoker. They didn't know they were going to. In fact, that was right here at LaCrosse yet. The other 2 boats there is the Alice, which we aren't sure of the boat. I got it kind of taken down. I believe it was a light boat. It was used to service the lights on the river. Very small boat, built around Alaska. But it was just something they said it was being taken care of, and actually it's odd because it was U.S. government. The other one is the Honeywell, which was our very first ferry, our very first steam ferry. Do you have any idea what our ferries were before that? Cable or steam? No cables? No, not cables. You can't have a cable across the river that's taking a lot of things down. So, can't be cables. Either mule or horse driven. How does mule or horse drive it? That would hold. Treadmill or a turnstile. One of the 2. And the one that they replaced was called the Laugh Kate was a treadmill. So, and apparently worked very good, but it was a small ferry. The Honeywell was, I think, about triple the size of the one that they've been doing. And that came here in August of 1856. And what they did is, at that time we were like what's considered a gateway city to the west. The people would come up on the river boats with all their possessions, normally not a wagon, normally not the horses to pull it. They'd get off the boat here, and they would camp out between about 10th Street and the bus. It was all sand. So they'd get out there and they'd camp out, and there was times that that whole area was peppered full of people, campsites. They would contract here to have a wagon built, and then they would find the horses they needed, and once they had everything they needed, go down and get a date with the ferry, because that ferry sometimes ran for 2 to 3 weeks. And they wouldn't accept anyone coming in and say, well, the wagon is supposed to be done in 2 days. No, sorry. When the wagon's done, you know it's ready to go, then we'll set you up.